Mike Pendleton says just a theory. Vic to St. Louis next year. They do need a quarterback. And then they draft Sue. Definitely could use him. I think they're going to take him. Then Vic, S-Jacks, then the nice defense they're building. Watch out, they may win 3 games. Yeah. Bryce wants to know whatever happened to AFC, NFC pride. I don't think it's there, bud. I mean, not in the Pro Bowl. I just don't think it's there. And listen, I had another idea, and then I talked to Mike the other day, and he kind of talked me out of it. I had another idea about the Pro Bowl because I had the money idea a long time ago. When I realized that would never happen, I started thinking, what else could we do? What else could we do to make the Pro Bowl worth watching? So what about this? Take the helmets off, take the pads off, and let's play some flag football or some two-hand touch. Does that sound crazy? Listen, it might, but look, we get to see a lot of big plays, right? And we get to see a lot of personality from these guys. The NFL is such a, everybody looks exactly the same. They all have the same gear on, a helmet. You can't see there. You don't even know the hair color of half the guys that we talk about every week because we don't see them. And, I was thinking, well, if we took the helmets off, if we took everything off and actually made the game about the players, the individual players, then maybe people would care more. Maybe be more excited. Maybe the players would have more fun. We'd see some big plays. You get to see some emotion, some facial expressions, stuff we don't typically see from the NFL. But then Mike said, yeah, tell Ray Lewis to slow down and not hit someone. And I said, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll never work. It'll never work on the defensive side. I mean, who wants to go to the Pro Bowl as a defensive player and just take a guy's flag off? I mean, come on. Come on. So, yeah, there goes that. But I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help. Elwood says when NFL is not top dog in sports anymore, stuff like the Pro Bowl will be gone. Well, what could knock it off? I don't know if anything could knock the NFL off until fantasy football becomes outlawed. Because right now, it is, the NFL is huge. I mean, king. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. It just doesn't. Elwood says the same stuff was said of b-ball and baseball. Okay, well, listen. We can explain that. With baseball, there was like nothing else going on. It was America's game because there was nothing else happening. I mean, there wasn't. I know there was football and basketball then, but the versions of them were so boring and lame that baseball actually seemed exciting. Right? But now all the other sports have progressed and advanced and become more, exciting and catered to the fans. And baseball has stayed stuck in their, slow rut. It actually has become even longer of a game than it was back then. I mean, it's even slowed down more. So you could see, anyone could have foreseen when they started seeing, all the changes in basketball, all the sames, all the changes in football happening. Someone could have foreseen baseball getting knocked off if they were smart enough and intuitive enough. But I'm looking, and look, baseball ain't knocking football off. Basketball may. But when basketball was king, there was one guy carrying the whole league, Michael Jordan. When basketball was absolute king, I'm talking like football is now, I mean, it was when Jordan was playing, and that guy was carrying the entire league. NFL doesn't have one guy carrying the whole league. It's got the league. We don't even know what most of the guys look like. And we love it. And you have to give credit to fantasy football. I mean, you're completely naive if you don't think that fantasy football has a huge part, in the popularity of the NFL. 40 million people play fantasy football. Estimated. Like 5 years ago, it was like 35 million. So it's probably even higher than that now. That every single one of those guys is tuned in every week to any game he can find. Listen, no other sport has that going for it. You can't you have to give credit where it's due, and fantasy football has caused a major explosion in the popularity level in the NFL. I mean, huge impact. Huh, Smith Dog, he knows. No T. It's an Illinois hat. I'm Illinois fan. I stick by my team. You know what I mean? I know they just got spanked by Purdue. It's all right. I didn't have huge expectations for this Illinois team, like some people did. So we'll be all right. Bryce says UFC's coming strong. Yeah, I totally agree. No, UFC is getting big, very, very big. I don't think it'll knock football off anytime soon. Is that right, Mike? Did that just happen with Tyreek Evans? Mike just said this in the chat room. Tyreek Evans, rookie guard for the Sacramento Kings. This guy's having a huge year. A lot of people talking about Brandon Jennings from Milwaukee, but Tyreek Evans is matching him in literally every statistical category. And, okay, Mike says not just happened, it was a few years back. Okay, but the lawsuit is pending. Tyreek Evans has a pending lawsuit against him because a few years ago he was driving a vehicle and his cousin shot someone out the window. Good God. Okay, Owens, Ohio State in the Basement Radio chat room says love Ohio State football. Good stuff. All right, no, that's good. Love who you want to love, you know. Not a Buckeye fan myself, but yeah, love who you want to love. That's good for you. Stick by your team. I was like, come on, does Mario Brothers not have the best sound effects ever? Really, for video games? Yeah, that's okay, honey. No, it's not bothering me. I just love it. I just love it. And this is what's great about this new game. If you have a Wii, get the new Super Mario Brothers game. At least rent it and give it a try. It is just like the original, except awesomer. Right? I mean, it's so cool. The gameplay is pretty much the same, except it kind of incorporates elements of all of the Marios. You know, there's some flying you can do, things like that. Mike, awesomer is a word. Today. In this show, it is. I know. I'm actually pretty decent at grammar. But it is way awesomer than the first one, just so you know. Totally is. But the sound effects are the same, and that's the best part. And the music is, like, the same. So it brings you back, and you feel like you're playing, you feel like you're playing Mario.